Welcome back to the channel. It is a beautiful, absolutely beautiful early June day. We've hit a record high of 34 degrees in my city, and that's like 95 in US dollars. I can't really do much work out in this temperature. I'm not a very good in the heat. So what I'm going to do today is just show you the overview of how things are going with the wood chipper and see what kind of maintenance it needs and see how it's holding up after being used for so much. So let's get that out right now. So we'll just pull the BX out and we'll take a look at the Wallenstein BX36s chipper. So needless to say, I'm extremely happy with this chipper. It is the perfect match for the BX23s tractor, and it has worked flawlessly. So first thing I want to do is just open it up and see how the cutting teeth are doing and the cutting edge, and we'll take it from there. The really nice safety feature that Wallenstein has provided is when you open up the chute to check your flywheel, your mass flywheel, you see this lever? It engages into these holes so that you don't have any worry that something happens and then starts to spin. It's definitely a good idea to lock that into position. This is the third season I've been running the Wallenstein chipper, and I am absolutely impressed with how clean these are. Let's get a closer look at these teeth. There is not a nick, not a single nick in these teeth. There is some debris stuck in them, and some twigs, but look at that cutting edge. The really nice thing about these as well is they're double-sided, so if they ever did start to get worn down, you can unscrew them and rotate them, and then this side would be the new cutting edge. But they are perfect, absolutely perfect. I'm just going to lower this down a bit. Maybe that'll make the PTO shaft a bit straighter and it'll be easier to see what's going on. Wow, look at that. There's another reason why it's good to come in and check every once in a while, because you just have stuff that clogs up everything. It's another tooth that's perfectly, I don't know what metal they're using, but every tooth is, every cutting edge is perfect. There's not a single nick. Wallenstein, come on. Give me something to do here. The other thing that they give you is this is the cutting wedge that the teeth shear up against and cut your wood. They give you this awesome tool, and basically what you do is you feed it down through the edge, and this is the gap that you want between your cutting edge and the wedge down below. It's impossible to see from my camera angle, but I am going to do that. And what you would do is you would adjust these two bolts in or out to account for the space that you need, till it passes over that cutting edge. And then what you do is you rotate the blade and you listen for it, and you just look down there and it's just clearing. You can just hear it. Then you know that your blades are still perfectly in line. Then you just put that back. The other thing to check, let's re-engage this, is your pillow bearings. Now, you don't have to fill these with grease. Your Zerk fittings right here, you're not filling the bearing. What you're doing is you're creating a grease cushion around the bearing to keep it centered. You're not filling the bearings. These are sealed bearings, and all you're doing is you're putting grease between the bearing housing and the pillow block. So don't overfill it. 1 or 2 pumps is all you need. There is one pillow bearing on the outside, and there's one on the inside. You can just see it under there. So let's just go get the grease gun now. We'll just add some grease to that. So just clean off your Zerk fitting. You don't want to be putting dirt into the grease fitting. I'm using my Lock and Lube, which is fantastic. And then really, that's it. Just a couple pumps. There you go. And that will just add a bit of grease around it, so that when it starts spinning, it will put a nice bead around it. For this one, I found it's easier to go through the sight hole. You can see it right there. So we'll just clean off this one as well. And that's how you grease the 2 pillow bearings on the BX36s Wallenstein chipper. And really, that's it for maintenance. You can go through and make sure your bolts are connected and tight, your chute's clean. This is all just sap, this kind of dirt on there. Some of the finish is gone, but that's to be expected. One thing I would go around and check is to make sure that all of these bolts are tight for the teeth. There's 4 in each one. You'll notice that they're spaced closer together and then further apart. That's so that you can't mess up the orientation of the blade when you put it back on. Very smart. The other smart thing that they've done for the security pin is that you cannot close the lid without disengaging that security pin. Meaning you can't, by accident, leave it pinned, turn your PTO on and wreck stuff inside. So that's a fantastic safety feature. Now that you've done that, you can close your top chute, reinsert your bolt, give it a tighten. Now it's back in business. You can also make sure that your chute rotation is working fine. There's detents that it fits in, so that's fantastic. Make sure you tighten your knobs. You don't want those screwing off on you. And then just do an overall bolt check, making sure everything's tight. One thing I wanted to mention, I'll step back here a bit, is people have a concern of when you're putting your arm in the chute that it might get caught in the blades. So from this angle, right down here is where the blades are. So you have all that distance before you can even touch the blades. So in the videos you'll see me feeding twigs in till about this distance. My stomach is touching, my arm is here. But to get to the blade, I can only reach 2 feet in. It's another 2 feet down to the blades. And that is the overview after 3 seasons of wood chipping with it. Great product, highly recommend it. Check out their website and see if the BX36s is right for your BX23s tractor, because I'm very happy with it. All right, and that'll do it for the video on how to maintain your BX36s Wallenstein chipper. When you open up your whatever this is called,